Asia's trying to be in and out tonight, huh?
What are you talking about? I'm all in. I'm here. Listen, you better cut it out. How have you been? We're still quarantined. We're still thriving.
Yeah, quarantined up, quarantine and chill.
It's
I'm over
fine.
it. I'm over it already, though.
Yeah, it's okay. I just feel like fine. I'm still pretty confident we're gonna get through this.
But you know the funny thing? I think that like once we go back to into the office and start working, we're gonna be like, oh man, it was so nice to just be home all the time and
Well,
be
not even
quarantined.
that. I was thinking about how hard it's gonna be to get a reservation at any restaurant when we can finally sit down and eat again.
Facts. And then if you try to go out, every spot's gonna be packed.
Right. It's
I
gonna
keep
be
seeing this
wild.
meme. It's like it says the first brunch is gonna be like super lit.
Yeah. I gotta be at that brunch.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. People are gonna be dropping a lot of money, so
Definitely. Hopefully, if we don't go into a depression.
hold on. What have you been doing this whole time we've been quarantined? Because I feel like I've just been drinking.
Yeah, I've been drinking too much, eating too much, trying to support my local restaurants, ordering takeout.
Have you been doing like any inside workouts or any at home workouts?
Mm, no, but I think I'm gonna start tomorrow.
I've been doing a couple, but it's like not effective or not as effective as like the regular gym, obviously. And I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
my summer body just
You're just fucking around.
yeah, it's a lot of bottles of wine.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited because this is week 2 of our guest marathon.
Oh yeah, we're lit.
And
We have a
we are
special guest.
super lit. We are super lit. We have a super guest. We got a lot of comments on our Instagram sticker of non-COVID topics you guys wanted to hear about, and a lot of what you wrote was about like show recommendations, movie recommendations, stuff like that. So I had to bring someone else on because you know me and Jared don't know a thing about. All I would talk about is Love Is Blind for the next 5 episodes if I could.
I have a couple opinions on a
Oh,
couple of shows. So
okay. Well, I can't wait to hear them today. But I think that we brought on an expert backed by popular demand.
Here I am.
I love it.
Brian is back, you guys.
Yay!
Brian came on our last guest marathon, and we are still getting feedback about that episode. I mean, it was just so good, so we had to have Brian back. Welcome, Brian.
I am so happy to be here, and I want to start off, go right into it by asking you both a question. Is my episode your episode that I appeared on the highest rated episode on Done with Adulting?
I should have
I don't know.
prepared with those statistics. I can look it up right now.
I think
Okay.
Ashley might have number one.
Who the
but
hell
I'm not
is
sure.
Ashley?
Okay, Brian, listen. Listen, let me clarify something.
What?
When your episode came out, you had the most amount of listens in the first week of release of all the any other episodes.
Okay, why are you using the past tense had though?
No, I'm just saying I'm not using I'm just saying that's what it was when we were talking about it back then, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check the stats and find out
All right.
which of our episodes has the most listens. And if you're not first, you're definitely top 3.
That doesn't work for me.
Well, we got another go around today. I mean, come on, you're automatically going to have more because you are the first guest that's ever come on twice. How about that?
Oh, that's facts.
I mean, this is amazing, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from me.
Ever. That is yours for life.
You're definitely my favorite guest that we've had.
I am. That means a lot to me.
Yeah,
all right, I like that. I'm very excited.
Yes.
So, Jared, when's the last time that I saw you? This was at your cast party, right? The podcast?
Yes, and I'm kind of upset about it because Asia told me about your birthday party weekend thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go, but I forgot what happened that I didn't go, and I was excited because I was like, I feel like you're just fun to be around, and I want to actually like party with you.
All right, we'll do it.
Yeah, we got to plan this out, get everybody together, and get crazy.
I agree. We should do that, and maybe we could put some Insta stories while we hang out in real time on
facts.
the Done with Adulting podcast Instagram.
I'm down.
All right, let's get into
We
it.
can even go live if you wanted to.
I'm a big fan of going live.
You got to plug your live segment for this pod.
I'm going to bite on that one. So, to the loyal followers and not loyal followers of the Done with Adulting podcast, hosted by Jared and Asia, I want to let you know that there's another shark in the water coming for your entertainment, and that is me, Brian Teague. You can listen to me Monday through Thursday, live at 5, with my new show called Hot Cup of Teague. That's Teague, my last name. Live at 5, only on Instagram Live. We get into some real dishy topics. I talk shit about a lot of people. I'm honest. I take questions from the audience every Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. on the dot on Instagram Live.
Oh, wow. It's a good show, too.
Do you guys like it? Are you being honest?
I do.
Yeah, we were watching it together over Google Chats like 2 days ago, and then Jared, and then I was on it. Are you kidding me? Of course I like
True. You were. You know what? You actually got rave reviews.
I did great.
Yes, you did. You got rave reviews.
She said the face wasn't beat, but I don't know. Was the face beat or no?
No, I swear to God, it was not.
It was funny because as soon as I said that, somebody was like, "What's age?" Or as soon as you came on, somebody was like, "What's the Asia's skincare routine?" And you didn't plug it. That was the perfect time. Did you not see that message?
No, that was my first time on live. I barely knew what I was doing.
True. I've never been on it like that either.
Maybe your hair care systems are so nutrient rich that you are seeing other benefits for your skin.
Yes, except I do have a big pimple coming in right here thanks to coronavirus. So.
Oh, I hate the Rona.
Anyways, okay, Brian, you are, for as long as I've known you, always the king of great recommendations in many different areas and aspects of life. I'll say that. So I had to bring you on to help us and the listeners. What should we like? We have all the time in the world. What should we be watching? What should we be listening to? What should we be doing? What should we be drinking? I mean, the people want to know. People want to know.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to start off with. I love this quarantine. I am absolutely wild about it because I like working from home. It's been an adjustment, but I like it. But also, I love the space that I live in. So this is a real treat for me. Like, I like being home. I'm never home. So being forced to stay indoors, although I've been getting out, I hope everybody that's listening and that is self-isolating gets out every day for a little walk, a little sunshine. You got to get outside. Yeah. And I discovered, Asia, something that apparently everybody knows about except for me. There's a harbor walk in Dorchester that goes throughout South Boston and basically like up to the aquarium.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
I knew there was a harbor walk that goes by like up to the aquarium because I've seen the path and like the footsteps or whatever, but I didn't know it went to Dorchester. Like I didn't know.
And if I never was isolating, I wouldn't have found this. So thank you, COVID-19.
Wait, so do you live in Dorchester?
I sure do. Live on Pearl Street.
What are some? I've never like really been there, but like, what are some like bars that people could hit? Because I've never thought of going out in Dorchester.
Okay, well, it's so fun. Everybody that lives in Dorchester is a drunk, I'm pretty sure. So my go-to spot is the Harp and Bard on Dorchester Avenue. It is just a real good bar. You know, it's like your town bar. The food's good, comfort foods. It's awesome. But also, so Dorchester actually has a huge gay population. Jones Hill, Savin Hill, Lower Mills, Lower Uphams. And every bar is a gay bar. I'm pretty sure. Like our local VFW, which I go to now, the AmVets, it's like $2 Bud Lights, $3 vodkas, a bunch of gays in there. It's like 90-year-old veterans with missing limbs and young gay men.
Oh, FG.
So that's another thing I've discovered with, about my neighborhood.
Those prices sound right though.
It's unbelievable. For $50, you can bring all of your friends out and pay.
And probably be blackout at the
$50.
end of the night.
Blackout. And they have darts. They have a jukebox machine. I mean,
Oh,
there's not a
sounds
song.
lit.
It is, but there isn't a song after like 1985 in there. Like everything's the good old days, as the people tell me. But yeah, so I mean, I'm watching a lot of TV right now.
Yeah, what are you watching? Because me and Terrence, like, we can never agree on something. Like, it has to be something really, really good. So we haven't started watching anything new together. We've been starting separate things. I need like something, quarantine and chill.
Yeah, I'd like to address that issue right now. Actually, of you and Terrence not agreeing on things. I'd like to address that because that's BS to me.
We just like different types of TV.
Sure, but you both need to just suck it up. Each of you make a recommendation and you watch it, whether you like it or not. We have hours and hours and hours of time to kill. Just watch it. Just watch it. You might like it. Whatever he says, whatever you say. Don't say no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did watch some. I did that once. But go ahead.
What was it? Did you like it?
It was Joe Exotic, Lion King or whatever.
Absolutely not.
I started that last night.
It's crazy, right?
That is wild.
What is it?
That dude is crazy.
Hold on, give them the breakdown, Asia. Give them.
Okay. Wait, is it called The Lion King? No, it's called King of Lions or something.
No, it's called Tiger King.
Tiger King.
It's on Netflix. Yo, this show is wild.
Okay, it's about Joe Exotic, who is like, a guy who collects and buys and like breeds big cats, so tigers and lions and ligers and shit like that. And it's very controversial because obviously the animal rights people think that you shouldn't be able to buy exotic animals and keep them.
Oh, fuck them.
And he and he is like kind of crazy also. So and he like. It's just wild. So anyways, the documentary is about how he tried to hire somebody to murder this lady from the animal rights thing named Carol. And so the whole documentary, he's just spiraling out of control, like mentally. And it's
Wait, did you finish it?
Yeah.
Okay, don't give us too much. I'm only in like episode 3 or 4, but it's
kind of crazy though, Brian. And like,
all right.
And he has 2 husbands.
He has 2 husbands.
Oh my
all
God.
All 3 got married, and it was like a 3-man ceremony.
So there are okay. So I will tell you from basically what you just told me, I am going to watch, but I want to know more about Carol. Because
Carol's hilarious. She tells her whole side of the story, and she is funny, man. Oh, she's suspected of killing her husband and feeding him to tigers. The husband before
Yo, this is crazy. I'm telling you, dog, it's crazy.
The husband before she has now disappeared, and
he was a millionaire.
He was a millionaire.
Yeah.
And so there's people suspect that she killed him and fed his body to her tigers.
But the thing is, I already don't like her. I'm still watching the show. But she's doing the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah, she has a sanctuary too.
But she calls it that she's rescuing them. She rescues them, and then she has them in cages until they die. I'm like, you're no better, lady.
Yeah, you have to watch it, Brian. You have to.
Now I've heard it all. Now
it's so funny. There was a podcast about this that I listened to like 2 years ago, or like it was maybe 3 years ago. Yeah. So when I saw it on television, I was like, oh shit. Okay. Wow. We got sidetracked. Brian didn't even say his first show.
I have one more to give.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the movie last night on Netflix. It was called The Platform. It's in Spanish, so if you don't know Spanish, you have to read
I love foreign movies. I love movies in other languages.
I wasn't going to watch it at first because I was like, I really don't like the subtitles, but I did, and it was actually really good. So The Platform on Netflix. Check it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Netflix.
Okay. Jared, you know what? I am happy that you watched that movie. And who's the guy that directed Parasite that won the Oscar this year? Bin Jong-un or something like that?
I don't know any names of directors.
I still have to see that movie. I might watch tonight.
It's fantastic. So there's my first movie recommendation for the audience.
What was it?
Parasite.
It won the Oscars, like the best or the best movie.
Can you give me a quick synopsis? I don't remember.
Parasite is a movie directed by Korean, I believe South Korean director, and it is about two families with completely opposite socioeconomic means, and it examines their relationship as one of the families comes to work for the other family. That's what I'll
Interesting.
say.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Okay. Where can I find that? Is that on Netflix too?
So I don't believe it's on Netflix, and I'm not sure that it's out yet. But if you have Comcast, they are releasing a lot of movies early on demand that you can still see in the theater. So some movies that are in the theater you can now get on demand, as well as movies they're doing early release, so people can watch them in their homes during this time. So if you have Comcast, take a look into that because there's a lot of great films. And most of the Oscar-nominated films are on there. So if there's still movies that you wanted to see during award season, they are on there. Check them out. It's really, really great.
Cool.
And all right, but I have been doing some binging.
Okay, go.
I've been doing nothing but binging. And I am lucky that I have two roommates who are also my two closest friends. So we are just bringing in all these shows and watching everything. So right now on Hulu, which I just started, Little Fires Everywhere. Have you guys
I just
heard
saw
of this?
that. I saw it, but I didn't know if I should start it.
Oh, that's with Kerry Washington, right?
Sure is. Kerry Washington, Joshua Jackson. Many of you know him. He was Pacey from Dawson's Creek, and Reese Witherspoon.
They said he was pasty.
No, well, he is.
I never watched Dawson's Creek, so I just thought
I never watched Dawson's Creek either.
Are you guys serious?
We were not watching those things in our communities.
Asia, where did you grow up?
I know. That's why it's funny. Okay.
Talking about. All right. Let me give you a Little Fires Everywhere. So yes, it is Reese Witherspoon. It is Kerry Washington. It is Joshua Jackson. It was a book that was written and published in 2016. So if you want to read the book, you can read the book. But this series, you can watch it on Hulu exclusively. It's unbelievable. The acting is great. The story is great. It's interesting. And it takes place, I want to say, in the mid-90s, which took me a couple minutes to adjust to, of just seeing, even 20 years ago or 25 years ago, how different life was. And they do a great job of bringing back the 90s in kind of a not like really stylized way.
I miss the 90s.
Do you?
What do you miss about it? I actually more miss the 2000s. I should restart.
I miss 90s music and 90s rap music.
Yeah.
Loved it. Okay. Other things I'm binging. The Goop Lab. Have you guys watched?
Okay, the Goop Lab.
The who?
Brian and I have talked about the Goop Lab.
What platform
together.
is this on?
This is on Netflix. And I tried to make my recommendations to go across the platform so everybody can listen to what I say, no matter what platform you have. But Goop Lab. So Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's nickname, I think, as most of us know. And she has this series of six mini shows. They're like 30, 35, 40 minutes each. And each show's about something different. And it pertains to her lifestyle brand, which is named Goop. Well, the first episode, I believe, is about, the introduction of illegal narcotics into therapy. So they actually send some Goop staffers to go to, I think it's Costa Rica, and they use psilocybin, which is commonly known as mushrooms, and they take like 3 grams of mushrooms and do therapy. And it is interesting to watch and how they react. But then they also talk about MDMA being used to treat PTSD. They
go on like these crazy trips too, like when they're high. They're like recording it.
Here's a question. I don't know if you guys are comfortable answering this, but have any of you ever taken mushrooms?
Never.
Asia, I didn't hear that. Was that yes?
I said never. I never have.
I've never had, but I want to. For some reason, I don't know why.
Oh, well, you should. You know what? Because I'm an advocate. I'm a drug enthusiast and a drug advocate, as long as you're doing it safely. And I think that experiences I know people have had have been mind-opening it has helped them think differently or just have a little bit of appreciation maybe for some of the people around them or for nature or for different things. So do mushrooms, especially if
Okay,
you're going to
so,
quarantine.
so do I just take them and just sit in a room, or like I feel like I need a padded room if I take some of those? I don't know.
No,
A
because
padded room.
Yeah, because I heard you just you like go crazy, not go crazy, but I heard you just hallucinate.
so I think that it's everything that you believe that's going to happen with any sort of psychedelic is just sensationalized because of the way it's portrayed in like art and the way that we see it like on movies and TV and stuff like that. I would say go for a walk, go for a little hike. If you're comfortable in your house, stay in your house. It doesn't make you see things as crazily as people would have you believe.
Okay.
Now, if you want to talk ayahuasca and DMT, that's a different story.
I've never even heard of those before, so I'm gonna move along
right.
from that.
Yeah. we are really off topic.
We're really gonna have a lot of side roads, I think, today, which is fine. So
it's organic conversation.
It is. That's what's great about Done with Adulting. That's why it's on my favorite podcast lists.
Hey, so we had Parasite the movie.
Yeah.
Little Fires Everywhere. Goop Lab. Okay, yep. We're on a roll. Jared recommended the platform. And you guys also have The Tiger King. Look at that. We are moving right along. Let's keep it up.
Okay, and you know what else? Episode 2, season 3 is on tonight, which I can't wait to watch. Westworld. It just started back up.
Oh, Westworld.
It's unbelievable.
It's
I love
hard.
it.
I can't.
I feel like an idiot. I feel like a complete idiot.
It's too hard to follow. It's hard.
It is. It really is.
I don't know if I can endorse Westworld.
What is that about? I've never even heard of it.
It's about the future.
It's not about the future.
Is that Netflix too?
It's HBO. It's about it is about an amusement park where humans can go and interact with robots, but the robots don't know that they're robots, and the humans go there and they can do horrible things. And just like you see
that sounds like the future.
Thank you, Jared. I knew you were going to say that.
That sounds like the future. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
I guess in hindsight, Asia was right.
But that sounds terrible. Right. They just do terrible things to the robots. Like,
well, some of the humans fall in love and they have relationships because they can't get love in the real world and blah 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 blah. You know, and all the sad stuff. But wait, I want to know: have you guys watched any good movies?
I just recently watched 1917. I know I'm late.
What the hell?
I want to watch that.
Really
good, man.
What did you watch it on?
I have an Apple TV, and I have
money.
No, one of my cousins, we all have his login, is like 15 people in the family, and he's obsessed with movies, and he buys them on Apple TV before, like he pre-buys them, so then when they release, they automatically download. So we have like 750 movies on our Apple TV.
Jesus.
Yeah, let me get the login.
Yeah. I was about to say, because I keep searching that movie, but it's only to buy right now, and I don't want to buy it. I just rent them.
It's so good. It's too good. It's really good.
So I got to check that one out. But the only movie I think I've really seen that was really good was The Platform, like I said. Mm-hmm. And actually, I watched 21 Bridges. Have you guys heard of that?
How was that?
Yeah, how was that?
It actually, so my mom saw it in theaters when it came out, and she told me it was terrible. But we watched it like 2 nights ago, and it wasn't that bad. It was definitely entertaining.
Who's in that again?
Chadwick Boseman. He's Black Panther.
I've seen that. I've seen it. It was okay. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be. It was entertaining.
Which is always a good surprise.
Yeah, we were on the verge of like falling asleep, so we were like, "Oh, let's just throw this movie on," and then it actually woke us up. It's an action movie, so it woke us up, and we're actually into it. I mean, we could tell what was going to happen.
Yeah, it's predictable
from the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very predictable, but it was a good movie. It was entertaining.
So I made a list of movies.
Yes.
Let's hear them.
And I want to be serious to all of the listeners out there. I want to know I have a challenge. Watch all of these movies, and I want you to report back on what you thought, because what I tried to give create a very varied list that has a good balance of all kinds of movies that everybody will like. They're all crowd pleasers. And it starts off with the movie This Is 40. Have you guys seen this?
No, what is that on?
I'm not sure. It's probably available. I didn't do by platform this time, but these are just movies that you need to see and you have the time for. So This Is 40. It's the follow-up movie to Knocked Up. Do you remember that with Seth Rogen?
Knocked Up? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the follow-up movie. It is so funny to me because I think now that I'm 33, 40 is looming. And
it's around the corner.
It's around the corner. And this movie centers on a woman is turning 40 and her husband and their family, and it is just so funny. And it's Paul Rudd, who's great, and Leslie Mann, and her husband, Judd Apatow, directs the film, and their 2 daughters are in it. It's just a really great, cute, funny movie. And then I also have, did you guys see Can You Ever Forgive Me with Melissa McCarthy?
Nope.
So it was she did like a real serious role. She got nominated last year for Best Actress. And it's a true story about this woman named Lee Israel, who she wrote a couple of novels and they were wildly successful, but she was kind of a drunk and like a hoarder and all this stuff, ran out of money. So she starts writing these fake letters from like dead famous authors and selling them and just kind of like floods the market with these fake letters.
Sounds like a scam artist.
She was scamming everybody. But they recently just discovered one of her scam letters in the National Library of the Congress or something like that.
So she made it.
She made it big. She's dead now, and she got caught. But the movie is unbelievable. It's a little bit heartbreaking. It's a little bit funny, but the performances in this movie, Can You Ever Forgive Me, leave you thinking about the film for days. It's unbelievable. It's so good.
That is a glowing review.
Yeah, I feel like she's usually like a comedian in like comedic movies, right? So yeah,
she killed it, and I cried. If that means anything to any of you people listening, I cry. But I cry all the time.
I didn't want to say it. I was like, I feel like you might cry easily.
I cry every day of my life.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't get it together. I don't know what's going on. This is a new thing.
No, Brad, you're an easy cry.
Well, Asia, you've seen me have at least one breakdown.
Yeah. One time, one of our coworkers brought in her baby to the office for the first time to meet everybody, and Brian was like, "Oh my God, she's so cute! Like, let me hold her." And as soon as she put the baby in his arms, he burst out in tears.
Wow.
He's like, I don't know what's happening to me. Somebody take this baby.
I am an emotional wreck lately.
Wow.
It was hysterical, man. I was dead.
Jared, I had to go to the bathroom and collect myself. I was like,
the baby was like so happy, like she wasn't like nothing was.
How was the mom? Was the mom giving him a side eye? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, no, we were all cracking up. It was truly hysterical. I was like, Brian,
my supportive coworkers, they laugh. I'm having a fucking mental breakdown.
It was like 1 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Truth be told, I probably like not slept the night before, was like outraging and just like completely depleted. But
oh my God, hot mess.
Hold on, one thing about your coworkers, a lot of them came to our party. If they're listening, all of you are super lit.
They are fun.
When us three go out, I think that we need to invite them as well because they were lit. That's what I'm gonna say. They were lit.
Honestly,
and it was a good time. So
I have found your vibe attracts your tribe, you know?
Hey, I like that. You always got the one-liners. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Chad, you never heard that before? Come on.
I've never heard that in my life.
It's on every white girl's tank top.
Oh, well, maybe I've
in some lower backs.
Yeah.
I would die if I saw that.
This episode is wild already. I love it.
All right. Okay. Okay. I know. I keep getting us off
On
track.
topic.
But,
On topic. Let's stay on topic.
yeah, but I'm gonna bring you back to my.
Oh
I'm gonna bring you
Jesus!
back to my movie recommendations. Okay.
I cannot
So
breathe.
here's me neither. I'm dying. So okay, if you have Netflix, you have probably seen the Netflix original movie that is Horse Girl.
No,
Have you?
Brian, I don't know. No. I
Yes.
don't know if you're in my genre right now.
It doesn't matter. It's not about your genre.
We're broadening our horizons.
Okay, Horse Girl.
During
Tell me
this
about Horse Girl.
quarantine.
Okay, wait a minute. Will you both agree right now, Asia and Jared, to watch all 10 of these movies?
Yeah, you gotta text them to me.
I'm writing them
Jared?
down. I'm writing them down, so I'll text them to you.
You don't have to write them down, because if you agree right now in front of your audience that you will watch all 10 of these movies, I want to hear about them.
I don't know if I'm gonna do all that, but
Jared, do it.
I'll do
No,
it. I'll watch all
you'll do
10.
it.
I'll watch all 10.
Okay.
I'll watch all 10.
Both of you. You promise.
Okay,
I promise. I'll
we have
start
to
today.
figure out where to get some of the movies.
All right. Well, Asia, that's part 2. So, all right. So, Horse Girl, great movie, suspense, thriller, Netflix. Watch it. Keep an open mind. It's a beautiful story. The acting, whatever. So, the next one,
Yeah.
the next movie I'm recommending is a heartbreaker. And if you're having trouble in your relationship, do not watch this movie with your significant other, because it is going to show you
That's a good preface.
Yeah, it's going to show you everything wrong about your relationship. And even if you're not having a good time, if you are having a good time, don't watch it with your significant other.
Oh, you're going to start questioning each other?
It's just going to, everything bad in a relationship happens in this movie I'm about to mention. And it has probably happened, one of these things, to every couple. And it's just going to eat at your significant other and be like,
F it, I'm going to watch it with you. I want to test our relationship.
Well, you know what the Twitterverse is saying, that the quarantine will come out with a spike of babies and a spike of divorces by the time this is over.
I hope so. We need to,
couples that really don't like each other are stuck right now.
Okay, so here's a great thing. If you have somebody that you want to break up with and you're listening to this and you live together and you're not sure how, turn on the movie Blue Valentine. It is with Michelle Williams and Ryan Gosling. It's a love story about a separation and a couple examining their relationship. And it flashes back to when they were younger and then present day. Trigger warning. And I will say this, for anybody who may be sensitive about the topic of terminating pregnancies, that does occur during this film. So
I like that preface. Thank you very much.
Just a heads up. That can be emotionally, traumatizing for some people. So I do want to give it, but it is great acting, great movie. You leave feeling like somebody cut a hole in your chest after watching this couple that was so in love not be in love anymore. It's terrible. So if you want to break up with somebody, watch Blue Valentine.
Where is that located?
You can definitely watch that on Netflix. Actually, I think all of these movies, with the exception of This Is 40 and Can You Ever Forgive Me, are on Netflix. So the next one, The 13th. Just because you're not at work doesn't mean you can't learn.
I watched that.
With Ava DuVernay.
The best. Produced. Yeah.
Great. It really pays. Yeah.
I only got to do 9 now.
Yep. It examines America's messy racial past as it pertains to our laws, and it really holds a mirror up to, the way that we've done things in this country, and it is so important and eye-opening.
Wait, what is it called?
13th. It's about the 13th Amendment, basically.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
All right, good. See, Jared?
Everything that Ava DuVernay touches turns to gold, so it's just that's my opinion.
Can we talk about Ava DuVernay for a minute?
Yeah, why? What are you about to say?
All right, so I'm flying to San Francisco last month, and I am on Delta. I love Delta. Delta, you know what? This is free promotion for you. I love Delta. And on the thing, they have that show where celebrities go and do a 23andMe. Who Am I Really? I think the name is the show. And Ava DuVernay was on there. And I am watching this show. Hysterical. on the plane. A full breakdown on a sold out flight. I'm sitting in Comfort Plus, so I do have a little bit more room. And there's only two of us in the row. But my neighbor was looking at me like a crazy person. I had a full breakdown. She's talking about her stepdad, her abandonment issues. They get into it. So put that on the list too.
Isn't she from Mass?
No idea. I don't remember. I did take an Ambien and have a couple glasses of wine on that flight.
Oh, say no more.
It's a little hazy. Okay, so the rest of the movies, I'll move through these fast. So I want everybody, do me a favor and watch the film Paris is Burning. It is about ball culture in Harlem, New York, during the AIDS epidemic. It's kind of the emergence of what we kind of know now as the transgender community, drag queens, what people were doing during the AIDS crisis in this time. It's very important to watch. And also, it gives you a little bit of perspective. I think it's appropriate because as we are experiencing a pandemic right now with COVID-19, it kind of gives you a look into a different time and how people were reacting at a different pandemic, in the pandemic of AIDS in America. So it gives you a little flashback to when this last sort of happened. It's great. Watch it. Last three. The Talented Mr. Ripley. Not Ben Affleck. Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law. Who's the guy that died from a heroin overdose that was in The Hunger Games?
Oh, I don't know.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's him.
What's he look like?
He's really pasty, blonde hair, chubby. He's done a lot of work. He played Capote.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
He was the main character of this movie, right?
He was one of the main. I think he played Dickie. I think his name was Dickie. And speaking of Dickie, Little Dickie. Have you guys? Okay, here's another recommendation for a show.
Is it Dave?
Dave on FX.
I've heard it's hilarious, but
I've never heard of this. What is it? Somebody tell me.
So good.
What is it?
So you know the rapper Little Dicky?
Yeah.
So his real name is Dave, and the name of this show is called Dave. It's on FX, which you can also now stream on Hulu. You can get Netflix. If you don't have cable, you can get it on Hulu. So it's basically his life and the balance between being Little Dicky and just Dave, a very Jewish, very white, heterosexual male with a girlfriend. And it is just so good. It's well done. It's really, really funny. And,
okay, that's definitely on my list.
Yeah, and ladies, I will say, if you have kind of a bro-y significant other that's a little bit of a Chad, that works in finance, that might own a Patagonia vest, he will love Dave.
A Chad.
A Chad. Chads and Ashleys will love Dave.
I also just want to say that everybody should know that Space Jam is now on Netflix. And if you have not rewatched Space Jam in a while, you should. It is hilarious. It is still funny to this day. And Brian made me think of it when you mentioned the show about the HIV pandemic, because in Space Jam, there's a hilarious part in Space Jam where they think that the guys are losing their powers because of some sort of disease, and they cancel the NBA season. And it is a very it's
what's happening right now
as to what is going on right now. And I was like, Space Jam knew, they canceled the whole NBA season. It is, Space Jam is a classic.
We don't need a Space Jam 2. Just putting that out there.
No way. They're going to ruin a good thing. So watch it while you can.
Can I ask a question that I already know the answer to? Is this the same Space Jam with the soundtrack conducted by one Robert Kelly?
Yes, that's the only downfall.
Oh. You know what, Nathan and Karen, I'm gonna tack this on. Why don't you watch Surviving R. Kelly and then tell me about Space Jam?
Listen,
Canceled.
I know he's canceled, but it's just a good
That's a soundtrack.
movie.
It's a soundtrack.
R. Kelly.
That's different than the movie.
He makes money off that.
Yeah, fuck R. Kelly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, keep going.
All right, here's the last two. Okay, The Lobster with Colin Farrell. It is a ridiculous plot. So
The Lobster or Mobster?
The Lobster, as in, yeah. It's a ridiculous plot. I forget what year it is in the world, but there is a new phenomenon that if you do not get married by a certain age, you turn into the animal of your choice. It sounds ridiculous.
No, that sounds like a good plot.
It is so funny. So Colin Farrell picks a lobster. It's just very interesting. It's great. And then the last film, Obvious Child, it's really funny. It's sweet. This is a good, if you're happy in your relationship, you should watch this movie. Trigger warning.
Obviously Child?
Obvious Child with Jenny Slate. Trigger warning. If you are sensitive to pregnancy terminations, do not watch this movie. And I didn't even realize this. I think I'm going to have to talk about this with my therapist that I keep recommending films like this. So that makes me nervous, but I don't know what's going on there. But all right, Ace and Jared, you have your assignment. You know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. We are going to, Jared, you have to do it. I'm going to send them to Emily too, because she'll definitely be on board.
I'm about to send them to you.
There we go.
You're about to send them to me?
Yeah, I wrote them all down. I got you.
They're all really, really great shows. Movies, rather. Okay, so we did talk about podcasts as well. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I'm going to tell you, my favorite podcast is right now called Ask Rana with Rana and Brian. You guys,
is that you?
No, it's Bryan. It's okay. So it's actually, if you've ever heard of the podcast Throwing Shade,
yeah,
Brian Safi is the host of that with Erin Gibson, I believe her name is. But Brian now has a second podcast with a woman named Rana Glickman, who is a Jewish Yenta from Marblehead, Massachusetts, that wrote a book called You'll Do a Little Better Next Time, A Guide for Marriage and Remarriage for Jewish Singles. Don't worry, this book is for everybody, is the name of the book.
That's a very long title.
Ridiculous. It's an advice podcast, but they have, if you do one thing besides watch my 10 movies, it is going to be listen to Ask Rana. It is a hilarious advice podcast. Great. You want to talk about recommendations? They have me beat by a mile.
Wow.
Every recommendation for everything. They do a Hanukkah list. They do a Christmas list. They do movies, everything. So I don't want to detract people from the Done with Adulting podcast, but go listen to Ask Rana. Also, for those of you who are a little more inquisitive, you want to learn something, there's a great podcast called Nice Try. And this season that they're on, it's about utopias. So it's all of these historical sites that were built to be like perfect utopias. Like they talk about Jamestown, Virginia, how it was supposed to be like the perfect place and like what happened there really. And they do talk a little bit about Pocahontas and John Smith and those types of things. They talk about an airport in Germany that was being built by Hitler. And it was supposed to be like the biggest airport that was like the status symbol for all of the Nazis. It's just so interesting. So I cannot recommend that enough. Another great podcast, Life Will Be the Death of Me by Chelsea Handler.
Oh, I've listened to a couple episodes of that. I
feel like I like her. I like her. I
used to not like her, but she has earned my likings now. I mean, she does. She's all right.
Did you listen to that podcast, Asia?
I've listened to it before, but I don't listen to it all the time.
It's intense. And she gets real. She's real on the show, and she talks about her experience going through therapy and trying to change her behaviors. And it's really, for some people, I think, gut-wrenching. And they talk about a lot of things, which is great. Asia, Jared, do you know I have a couple more recommendations if you'd like to hear them?
Keep them coming.
So I've been trying to think of things that I can do in the house, right, that are going to give me time that I can do with other people. I've been cooking a lot. ton of cooking. I'm going to be 19,000 pounds by the time this is over.
We were just talking about that on our last episode the week before this one.
I know, I heard. That's what made me think of it, because I do listen to every episode of Done with Adulting, as everybody should.
Our number one fan. We love it.
How could you not be a fan of this show? How could you not? Show me a person that doesn't like this podcast, and I'll show you an idiot.
Hey, that should be the title. Hey, not by popular demand. That should be the title now.
That should be the title. I like it. So I've been cooking a lot. I've also been smashing like a bottle and a half of wine a day.
I feel you.
That sounds about right.
I feel you.
So I'm trying to think of some healthy things or things that are non-drinking or eating related. I started a puzzle, a 3,000-piece puzzle.
I love a good puzzle.
I fucking hate it.
I love puzzles.
I sat there today and just touched the puzzle pieces. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
I'm assuming you're not done yet. Yeah, you're not done
Everybody
yet.
says that. It
Start
doesn't
with the
matter.
edges.
But how do I even find the edges?
You just pick them out one by one, and then once you think you have them all, you start to put them together one by one.
Asia, I'm telling you,
Put on some music. Put on some R&B.
I did it all. I hate puzzles, and I hate people who like puzzles.
I love a puzzle.
It is 2 feet by 3 feet. This is a 3,000-piece puzzle.
That's pretty big.
3,000 is big. If you hate puzzles, you should have started with like 500.
Worked your way up, right?
I didn't choose it.
Yeah.
So that's aggravating. But also, this is a perfect time to quit a bad habit. And I'll tell you a bad habit. I am a casual cigarette smoker. I smoke 2 cigarettes every day of my life.
Brian.
That's not casual.
I think it is.
I don't like this information.
Casual would be like you drink when you get drunk, no?
Okay, but Jared, I drink way more than I smoke.
Oh, touche.
So I decided no more. This is ridiculous. There's no reason to be smoking.
Literally, though.
It's so dumb. And I'm going to tell you why I quit.
I applaud you for that.
How many days have you been quit?
How many days have I been quarantined?
Hey, talk your ish.
The thing is, my only reason for quitting is because of my skin. I put so much money and time into making sure I have nice skin, and I just undo everything by smoking a Marlboro Light.
That's a fact.
I mean, how stupid could I be?
That's a fact.
Yeah. So I'm done with that.
Okay, giving up bad habits. We've been trying to shake our bad habits since our New Year's resolutions, and
I think we both failed, but hey.
I think we might have both failed, yeah. We can try again.
Yeah.
Hold on, so Brian, was that the end of your list?
No, I have so much more if you want to talk about it. So, okay. You know what I want everybody to stop doing on Instagram and social media?
Challenges.
What the fuck is that about?
I really hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh my God, you can do a push-up?
Yeah, I've been hit up for the push-up challenge like 3 or 4 times, and I've done push-ups on my own, obviously, for like trying to get a workout in, but I'm not posting it.
I don't want to post,
I don't post it at all.
What sort of a fat ass do you have to be to only do a push-up when you're challenged on Instagram? I'm serious, you guys. I'm bullshit about this.
Hey, this is all new for everybody. Some people want to get through it with challenges. Let them get through it with their challenges.
The challenges, yeah, I can't. I just.
It was the beautiful challenge. Then it was the shot challenge, and
what was the beautiful challenge? Nobody tagged me in that.
It was a women thing. It was a women thing.
It was like post a beautiful picture of yourself in your story, and then tag 10 friends to do the same.
What is that? What is that really about?
People want to feel good about themselves while they're isolated in their homes. Let them feel good about themselves.
Yeah, positive vibes.
Oh, darn. I know, and here I come. Everybody's going to hate me. They loved me on the first episode. They get to see the real me on this episode. That's the problem. All right. So, other things that I'm doing, you know what I'm trying to do? Really get some more sleep. I'm not a sleeper. I don't sleep. I hate it. I'm busy. I like to run around. That's good for me. I have been sleeping so much. Any chance I can take a nap and be in my bed, I'm in my bed. And I don't understand what's happening. I'm worried that I have some sort of sleeping disease that has just been discovered because of this quarantine.
No, you're just resting. It's a
Nope.
lot. We've been both very busy at work. You're anxious. Everybody's worked up, and you're just kicking it into rest overdrive. You're drinking a bottle and a half of wine. That's gotta make you pass out.
Asia,
You're tired. Just go to sleep.
Asia and Jared, I want to tell you something right now.
Take
I want
your
to give you
ass to sleep.
I want to give you some hot scoop. I'm not nervous at all. I couldn't be less nervous about anything. I don't care. I don't care if I get
I
it.
love it. I love it.
In
Well,
fact,
Asia's been saying every single day, we're all gonna get it. We're all gonna get it. So now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for it now. She talked to me like, we're all gonna get it. We're all gonna get it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down.
I don't want to be one of the people who doesn't get it.
This is not funny.
Oh, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be serious. What is going to happen? There's going to be two kinds of people in this world when this whole razzle dazzle is over. People who got the corona and people who didn't. And I want the Rona. I want to be with the people with a better immune system. If this comes back around next year, I want to have an immunity. I want the Rona.
Listen, we committed to corona-free content for the next 4 weeks.
Oh,
what
shit.
else are you doing? Give us some more recommendations.
I'll tell you something that I'm not doing. Worrying about corona. All right. So, you know what else I'm doing? I am keeping my local liquor store in business.
No, big facts. I've been there like 4 times this week.
Do you also, let me ask you this, and this will help me find out something about myself. Do you go to the grocery store every single day?
Okay. I do not personally go to the grocery store every single day, but someone from my household has gone every single day. And every day they go, they bring back like 4 things. And I'm like, what 4 things did you bring back this time? Oh, well, yesterday I forgot just this one thing. The next day, they go back for more. Terrence is stockpiling bacon like I've never... You should see the amount of bacon in my freezer.
Why don't you shop for the week?
That is
I don't know.
I thought we did. And then they kept going back every single day.
Okay.
Emily goes like twice a week, maybe 3 times at most.
Day.
Not every single day.
Sometimes I go to the grocery store just to get a coffee.
So you just like the grocery store then?
I love grocery stores so much.
Are you smoking right now?
No. Worse. I'm burning incense. It's a sage.
We're like, we just said you quit.
Imagine what an asshole I am. I'm making fun of people for being nervous about corona, and I'm sitting here burning sage to ward off bad energy. This is so dumb. All right. So I am looking forward. Yeah. So Westworld tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Some other stuff that I'm going to do this week. I'm changing over my closet.
Yeah, that's my part of my plan too. I'm going to donate a bunch of shit.
Where?
I don't know. Donate? Goodwill?
You know what I want to do? I want to donate blood. Can I do that? Am I?
I mean, I'm sure we still need blood at the hospital. So yeah, I think you can. You probably get tested for the Rona before.
Oh, maybe that's a good tactic to get a test.
I don't know if that's true. I'm just speculating. Please do not quote me on that.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, okay, here's a question for you.
All right.
And I think Asia might have prefaced, like, she already
Oh,
probably with
yes.
this
We've
already.
been waiting to ask you this. Okay, yeah, you
So-
ask it, Jared.
Brian.
Do you have the Rona?
No, that was clearing my throat right there.
No, because you've been sniffling an awful lot during
haven't
this
seen
cast.
It's seasonal allergies.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have allergies though. That's the thing.
Then it's the Rona.
Oh Jesus, I'm asymptomatic. Then I don't know. But question for you:
All right.
is it transphobic for a man
Yeah.
not to want to have relations or date a transgender
Person?
person, female, or is it?
Or no, also, is it homophobic
Yes,
to not want to date somebody who is bisexual?
a man who's bisexual for a woman.
I mean,
Because we were talking about this because of Love is Blind. Love is Blind. Love is Blind. Did you watch it?
I watched some of it. I hate that show.
Okay, well, I did a Love is Blind recap a
Aisha
few
loves
weeks
it.
ago.
I know.
I think
Everybody
it's
loves it.
hilarious. I think it's truly hysterical. I did a recap a couple weeks ago, and to one of the couples, they met in the pods, they got married. I
Which
mean, they
one?
got engaged. They
Who?
didn't make it to the end. They left in Mexico because in Mexico, after 10 days of knowing each other and being engaged, he revealed to her that he's actually bi and he's dated men in the past. And her reaction was like, "Okay, this isn't."
You should have told me this before
Yeah, her
we got
reaction
engaged.
was like, "You should have told me that." And then and then he responded with, "It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's me or not. Like it shouldn't matter." And she's like, "But that is a part of you. Why are you trying to hide it?" And blah blah blah. So then the whole debate was like, is she considered a homophobe because she did not want to marry a man who has been with other men?
You want the simple answer?
Yes.
She's a homophobe. But that's the simple answer.
Really?
I'm just yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, actually, I'm not going to say that.
Hold on. So, say that again.
Okay.
Break it down for us.
I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell you in this specific example, my gut feeling is she didn't give two shits about what he was hiding. And it was the fact that he was hiding that he was bisexual. And how is she going to explain this to her friends and her parents? We're on a national platform. That's the reason why this woman did this. And I know that. I know that in my heart of hearts. And but I will say this, just by the explanation of her saying, "You never told me." They knew each other for 10 days and he told her. So it wasn't like, what is she? Oh, you buried the lead? No, it's been 10 days, you crazy person. So,
But it was after they got engaged. Because
Okay.
there's a time before they get engaged versus them not being engaged, right?
what, 6 hours?
Yeah, it was like a week or something. But her thing is
Okay.
like, what her point was is you should have told me this so that I could take it into consideration before I said yes to marry.
Okay, and here's the other way that I think about it. So what's the difference? So if he never told you this, you would be totally fine. You'd be so satiated and happy. And then we introduce the fact that he has had a D in the A, baby. And now all of a sudden she doesn't like him. It's not adding up. This person specifically in this instance, I would qualify as a
Homophobic?
biphobic.
Biphobic?
Yeah.
So you
I've
feel
never heard
like
of that.
generally,
I just made it up. That's why you never heard of it.
you feel like generally, if you are somebody who is not comfortable dating somebody who dates both genders, you're a homophobe.
I don't know. I think that
So
you
what
have
if
to ask you.
hold on,
Go
so
ahead,
what if the individual is insecure with themselves and they're worried about that person not cheating with one race but treating with both or one gender now cheating with both genders?
So then they're crazy and biphobic.
How does it make them biphobic though?
Because, okay, if the person is just insecure, that is just wild, Jared. I can't even imagine having that verbalizing it. That say like, oh, you didn't tell me you were bi? Well, I wish that you did because now I'm scared you're going to cheat on me with two different. You just opened up
I bet you that's happened multiple times over. I bet you
Then
that's
you know what? Then it's a blessing in disguise for that bi person because that person is off their rocker, and you shouldn't be with them anyway. It's ridiculous. But I will say, okay, this is a premiere, and I'm going to tell you this, and not many people.
You hear it here first.
It is, and there's only a few people who know this, and I have no shame because I'm not transphobic. But I was intimate once with somebody who was transgender, and I didn't know it, and I didn't find out until after. And
And you didn't feel any differently. Did you feel differently?
I mean, I didn't like them. I was like, it was in my very, very younger years. I was like really drunk. It was a one night stand sort of situation that never turned into a one night stand because we were so drunk and ended up falling asleep. So, but weeks later, I'm on Facebook, and it's the people you may know, that pops up where it shows you, and I was like, oh, there's that guy from, a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, he was cute. And I click on, their profile, and it's one of the accounts where you can only like look at their profile pictures. So I click on their profile picture and I start clicking back, like, oh, they look a little different there. And I'm clicking back and back and back. And like, I go through like mind blowingly, my jaw was just like dropping to the floor more and more to like what 2008. They're wearing like this beautiful prom dress, like total.
That's another question. Do you think you personally, Brian?
Yeah.
Do you think that
I couldn't believe it.
do you think that transgender individuals should disclose that they're trans?
You know what we should do instead of making them disclose? Why don't we make them sew a pink upside down triangle on all their clothes so we can automatically identify them without, and we just know to stay right away. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I'm hearing, Jared.
No. Does this sound that bad?
No, but
yes,
it sounds that bad.
Yes,
does it really?
It doesn't sound that bad. I think it's hilarious because that is not an uncommon question that I've heard from people. So I just think, in the interest of saving everybody's time, let's just give them a tattoo or something, Jared. So everybody knows. Steer clear. You're gonna get.
Oh my god!
You're gonna get duped.
Are you fucking?
My face hurts.
Oh my god!
But no, seriously, to answer your question, Jared, yes.
My face
no,
hurts.
I don't know. God. I mean, it is what
if you're
it
about
is.
to be if you're about to be intimate with an individual, you should know.
I agree, but also too, it didn't really. I will say that after this experience, I felt a little ashamed. I was like, "Oh my god, like what the hell? I can't believe." Like I felt like I was the victim here, and then I thought about it. I thought, how stupid could you be to think this? Because that person is a male. They identified as male, and also too, I do want to say that they were post-op. So okay.
You had no idea.
I thought things were a little small, but I had no inkling.
Oh my
god! So for all intents and purposes, I'm still gay.
Oh
but
my god!
No, I think that's a ridiculous. It is what it is, and here's the thing: so many men like to sleep, white men specifically. If you look at the sleep with transgender people and transgender sex workers, it's very, very popular. So I think that people are ashamed, but I don't think that you should expect people to disclose. Like, is it a bumper sticker? Like, what is that? Like, what do we do?
Beep beep, coming through.
I don't know. But also, it might be nice to let people know, because I'll tell you, if I was told that, I might not have done it.
Exactly. So you lived it, and you questioned it at first after you found out.
But now I would never. Now I would never, because it didn't make any difference. Like,
but to other people, it would.
Well, then you say, "I'm sorry, I'm just not comfortable with this."
Exactly.
Piece of shit.
No, not even that.
I can't believe this. I can't
believe this either. Listen, we need to, Brian. This is why. This is why we have, like,
Brian. We need you. We need you on again in a month from now. Just once a month. Once a month. We need Brian.
You guys, I cannot even believe what I can't imagine what this audience thinks of me. For every.
Well, we're gonna find out when this episode comes out.
I'm gonna preface it. This is my favorite episode ever. That's how I'm gonna put it on social media. So hopefully it gets hit up.
Wow. We didn't talk about anything except for just go on tangents.
You
just laugh the whole time.
Oh, my face hurts. This is exactly what we needed. Brian, unfortunately we do have to wrap up.
I have to go make dinner.
But dinner it's 9 p.m.
I don't sleep. What don't you people get?
I told you to go to bed. You're tired.
Go to sleep. How?
Go to sleep.
I can't. I'm making dinner.
Oh.
All right.
But no, Brian, we're going to have you back again and again and again, because we always have a good time. Thank you so much for coming on.
And also, where can if I want to hear this episode, or if I want to follow you guys on social media, where should I go, or what should I do?
You can get this episode anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Instagram @DoneWithAdultingPod, and on Twitter, DoneWTH Adulting.
Yeah.
All right. I love it.
Follow us.
Okay.
Oh, Brian, thank you so much again. We will watch your top 10 movie list and report back.
We love having you on. You got to come back again.
Yes. No, I want to come back again. And I do just want to give, before we wrap, to the audience, I know that I was a little out of control today. This is Cabin Fever at its finest. And I hope that you laughed, and I hope save your hate mail, as I said last time. Because
we're all going through it. We're all going through it. Cabin Fever.
I'm not going to read your hate mail, and don't harass Asia or Jared for anything that I say, because they can't control me either.
We're not going to listen to them anyway. We're on your side with most of it.
All right. Awesome. With most. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. This has been a pleasure.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay indoors. Do your part, etc., etc.
Yes. You know what, Asia? I'm sorry. This is the last thing I'm going to say. What a great time to be intimate if you have a partner, to really focus on one another and trying to have more relations. I think everybody should be doing that. That's a recommendation that I forgot to say.
I like that.
Well, what is your opinion on dating around right now? I feel like that's a no.
And
if you don't already have your person,
None.
They might have the Rona. You never know.
None. Yeah.
If they have the Rona, you have the Rona.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, you filthy animals.